Welcome to the review of Zanac. The version that I'm reviewing is actually an MSX port that was created by Friend Software in 1994. The original game was created by Compile in 1986 for MSX. Zanac is a bird's eye perspective of a shooter game. It's filled with action and extremely difficult, maybe one of the most difficult action games I've ever played. Especially this particular version. So you can see that the game starts by you being the white plane at the bottom of the screen, and you can navigate moving up and down and left and right. And of course you can shoot missiles, and you also have what's called a special weapon. You can shoot both at the same time, or you can just do one at a time. One of the things that makes Zanac so difficult is one hit and you're dead. Most of the enemies either shoot or can fly directly into you, killing you. There are some enemies that are on the ground, which allows you to fly straight over them. You start the game with a special attack which can shoot left, right, up, or behind you. Or you can fire this single-shot missile. And of course you can fire them both together. Eventually you'll start to get upgrades where you get 2 missiles, and then eventually 3 at a time. These orbs also temporarily make you invincible for about 2 seconds. Eventually you'll upgrade your special weapon, such as this number 1. The special weapons all have numbers. 1 just allows this orb to appear in front of you, destroying anything in the path. Number 2 is a shield, which actually appears on your ship. And again, it blocks and destroys anything in front of your ship. Number 3 is a spinner that appears around your ship. The spinning orb tries to prevent anything from coming inside and doing damage to your ship. Of course, some things can go right through it. Number 4 is another shielding mechanism, but it appears in front of your ship and stays out front doing damage. Number 5 is a single shot that goes forward and falls backwards to your ship. Number 6 destroys everything on the screen when it hits something. It doesn't destroy tough enemies like bosses. And finally, number 7, which is arguably the best weapon in the game, which pulses right through enemies. There are these little smiley face buildings on the ground which produce these orbs, and when you touch the orb it destroys everything on the screen. One thing that's really annoying about the game is when you die, you lose all your weapon upgrades, and you're reset back to number 0. And you're going to be dying very frequently. There's so many things going on in the game. In fact, did you see these missiles? They're flashing, you can't even hardly see them. They disappear and reappear. Talk about cheap. The Nintendo version of the game, the graphics are a lot more consistent and there's not as much blending of the ships with the background. So it's a lot easier to see what's going on. You can get extra guys in the game once you get so many points, or if you get that little smiley face. Eventually you'll progress on to round 2, 3, 4. And you do this by destroying bosses. You'll finally start having more difficult enemies, such as these minefields. It takes a lot of hits to destroy them. Or you'll have things that come at you from all different angles, or shoot all these white bullets, which are called chips, all over the place. The bosses get more difficult as well. If you have the number 7 weapon, it makes it a lot easier because it can destroy those chips. So as I was playing the game, I found myself extremely frustrated. The foreground objects blend in with the background because of the limited colors, and all the number of objects on the screen just makes it impossible to see what's going on in order to dodge things or shoot things down. I wish that Compile had created a DOS version, because again, this is a recompiled version by Friends. Perhaps it would have been more like the NES version, which is completely awesome. Of course, the number of colors is the biggest issue here, which causes things to blend together. The sound is actually pretty good. It's very similar to the NES version. But I did notice there aren't as many music themes. When I went to the various stages, it seemed to only have one main theme. Unless you have an extreme amount of patience, I cannot recommend this game. That wraps up this game review. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.